friends. I'm Liz Asti, and I'm a teacher at Eastside Westside Music Together in New York City. For my Cert 2 project, I want to explore how we use our bodies in class and how we ask our grown-ups to use their bodies in class. So why am I doing this? Well, a few semesters ago, I became friends with a mom in one of my baby's classes, and she started speaking to me about the challenges that she was experiencing with her body after childbirth. Specifically, she said in class, a lap song was becoming difficult, that the weight of the baby on her lap and the bouncing and the rocking, it just felt unstable and made her feel uncomfortable. And she'd look around our circle at all of these new moms and she'd see them bouncing and rocking, and she'd look at me with my fake baby with this little teddy bear I had in my hands, and I'm just bouncing and rocking, and she felt, my body doesn't do that. And she thought as a result, she felt shame. That was never my intention. But it was important information for me to have. Right around the same time, I threw my back out. I just pretended like it didn't happen. I didn't want to look vulnerable or weak or out of control in front of my grown-ups, and I am sure that that fear prevented me from healing in a meaningful way. We often say to our grown-ups, I'm going to model for you. You can model for your children. So that made me think, what am I modeling for them? Am I modeling self-care? Am I modeling that it's okay to modify if you don't feel comfortable in your body doing what I'm doing? Am I meeting them where they are? My goal for today is to get curious about what we are modeling for our grown-ups in class and what we are asking them to do with their bodies in class. And I also want to get curious about what we're doing to take care of ourselves. If we model better self-care, will our grown-ups take care of themselves better? I never want anybody to walk into our class and feel pain or feel shame as a result of this joyful work that we do. So how do we keep our grown-ups safe and thriving so that they can keep their little ones safe and thriving? Today we're going to do a lap song, Trot Old Joe. We're going to do a small to large movement song, Crawdad, with the recording, no breathing, don't worry about that. And I'm going to give you a 5-minute quick warm-up that you can do for yourself before teaching. In this video, you will find suggestions of ways to keep your body and your family's bodies safe in class. Now, I certainly don't expect that you're going to watch this and stop class and cue somebody with a mobility issue that you see. But I just hope that you will become curious about movement patterns that you're seeing or even shy movement that you're seeing in class, and that you'll use these tools to encourage and model safe movement. I'd like to welcome my friend Laura Martinson. She's the fitness manager here at Mark Fisher Fitness, where we're filming today. And she has her prenatal and postnatal certifications through Girls Gone Strong. She's a Music Together mom-to-be and my personal trainer. Laura's going to take us through some movement patterns and help us understand some mobility issues that us grown-ups might have.
Hi everyone. So, like Liz said, we're going to talk about some positions and some foundational movements in our bodies that may or may not cause us issues when we are picking up children and getting up and down off of the floor. And the first thing we're going to talk about here is a position called neutral spine. Neutral spine. You're going to get very tired of me saying neutral spine, but it's important. It's important. So we're going to talk about what it is. What is neutral spine? How to find it, and how that applies to these movements. Yeah. So neutral spine. You want to think of your spine being in alignment. And why this matters is because my spine is happiest when it is neutral and is best willing to accept weight or load, which is what we are about to do, right? We're going to pick up a kettlebell, you're going to be picking up children. So that's why when it becomes important. So Liz, could you turn profile for me? We're just going to take a look at how to find neutral spine and how to sort of know when I'm not in neutral spine. So I'm going to show you 2 different postures here that you may be able to recognize in your own body. And these are extremes, right? These are extremes, and we're going to try to find the middle. So the first extreme we're looking at here is rib cage kind of jutting forward and opening, lower back is arched here. You might be kind of like sinking into that lower back. This is kind of an extreme posture under, we're not supported here at all, right? So Liz, I'm just gonna ask you to kind of go back and forth between the two and kind of settle somewhere in the middle that feels good to you. Beautiful, yeah. So she's settled into a beautiful neutral spine right now, and the thing that I'm looking for is alignment. My joints stacked vertically up and down, right? Her shoulders are right over her rib cage, which is over her hips, knees, and ankles, right? So that's kind of what we're looking for here. And this posture is what we're going to be aiming for as we make our way through all of these movements. All right, so we found neutral spine. How does it feel?
Feels great.
Feels good, right? Yes. We found this neutral spine, and the first movement we're going to do in neutral spine is something called a hinge. It's a really functional movement. You're going to use it in your everyday life. You can use it picking up your children, picking up your groceries. So we're going to talk about what that is. So, in a hinge, the first thing I'm going to have Liz do is soften her knees just a little bit, and then I'm going to have her reach her hips towards the wall behind her as she bows over. The hips are going back, and she's bowing over. Her knees are staying soft. Yep. Go as far as you can until you feel a little stretch in the back of the leg, those hamstrings, and then stand on up. I'm going to have her do one more. And I just want you to notice how she maintains this beautiful neutral spine. Yep. Can you come down one more time, Liz? Come on down and show us an example of losing that neutral spine. Yeah, so she kind of rounded over there. She lost it. Yeah, exactly. Yep, and there it is. And then stand on up. Yeah, beautiful. So this is the movement that we're looking for, like I said, when we are bending over to pick something up, whether it's a child, again, or a grocery bag. So I'm going to have Liz sort of demonstrate what that looks like, a little bit of weight in her hand. It's going to feel a little bit different. She's got some weight in her hand, yep. Again, she's going to start with soft knees. She's going to check in that neutral spine, ribs over hips. She's going to go ahead and reach her hips back and bow over. Beautiful. And come on up, and we'll just do one more. Feels a little different with the weight. Yes? Beautiful. Good. And then go ahead and put that weight down. Yeah. That's it, you guys. And the thing that she did beautifully there was she didn't let either of those extreme postures creep back in. And to do that, her abdominal muscles probably had to kick in and do some work. Did you feel that? Yeah. Beautiful. Good job. All right. So moving on, we're going to talk about squats. Are you excited?
I love squats.
I think everyone loves squats. Squat is the most useful functional movement you can find, you guys. So we're going to apply everything else we've talked about already here about neutral spine, and we're going to use our hinge and talk about what makes it different from a squat. So Liz may want to take her feet a little wider. Yeah. She may even want to turn out the toes a little bit. That might feel comfortable, right? I'm starting again in neutral spine. So just checking with that position. If you need to go back and forth a couple of times to find it, do so. Beautiful. Great. Now, I'm going to have Liz start with our hinge. She's going to soften her knees, and she's going to hinge just a tiny bit. She's going to reach the butt back and stop right about there. She's got that nice neutral spine. Now she's going to let the knees bend to take her down to depth, like she's sitting in a tiny kindergarten chair, and then she's going to stand back up. Yeah? So the movement starts with what I call a baby hinge, and then my knees sort of finish the job. How did that feel?
Great.
Let's do that one more time just so we can all get that in slow motion. Her feet went wider, her toes turned out, she found her neutral spine. Great. She's going to hinge just a little bit, and then she's going to let the knees take her down, keeping that neutral spine and standing on up. Feels good? Great. Just like we did before, we're just going to add some weight and see how that feels. It will be more challenging with weight to keep your neutral spine, right? So, just giving you that heads up, if you feel at any point that you've got weight in your hand that is too much for you to handle and you're not able to keep that neutral spine, go ahead and put that weight down and reassess, yeah? So, go ahead and pick up that weight. Great. Find that neutral spine. pelvic floor here. They're aligned. If I use my breath, I will be able to activate some of those abdominal muscles. Good job. Thanks. All right, so we are going to talk about how to get up from a seated position with or without a tiny human in your hands or some weight in your hands. The thing that we're going to go back to, I told you you'd get sick of me, is neutral spine. How do I maintain that neutral spine as I get up and off the floor? It can be a little tricky. So Liz and I are going to show you a couple different options here when it comes to that. So we'll have a seat. And most of us, I feel, are probably starting from this position. Maybe you're in this position, yeah, pulling those legs in. The first option we're going to show is, Liz is going to show us, is a little bit more challenging. I'm going to show you a little slightly easier option. So the first thing she's going to do, she's going to take one leg, swing it around. Yep, and again, keeping that neutral spine, come to her knees. Yep, bring those knees together, 1 foot first, pushing up to standing up, and she can come back down. And I'm looking at her from the side, and I'm making sure, beautiful, awesome Liz, and I'm making sure that we aren't getting into any of those extreme postures, yeah? And the one thing I will say too is when we get to here, it becomes very important as I stand up that I maintain this tension that I found here, right? Because this is the spot where it can become really tricky and I may lose that neutral spine. So before I stand up, I'm going to take a moment to make sure to keep this together as I push up to standing, yeah? So that's option 1. Option 2, I will show you. If I'm starting here, I might have a tiny human in front of me, and if that tiny human can stand, that's great, right? So I can set that tiny human down as I sweep the leg, bring the legs together, and just give myself a little bit of help, a little push to come to kneeling, then bring those hips through. I can grab that tiny human now if I would like to. One leg, abs, push up to standing. Yeah, so in both scenarios, I'm really trying to be mindful of that neutral spine. All right, lastly, you may have a situation where there's a child in one hand and there's something else you need to pick up. Maybe it's another child, maybe it is a backpack, a diaper bag, what have you. So we're just going to give you an example of things we've already learned, how we can use those to sort of stabilize that second pickup. Yeah? So Liz and I are going to just pretend we have a beautiful child in our hands. We're going to use our hinge just like we did. Take your feet as wide as they need to be, right? The lower I need to go down to the floor, the wider I can take those feet, right? So it depends on how high this thing is that you're picking up. Maybe it's on a bench, maybe it's on a chair, maybe it's on the floor. But I'm going to use that hinge. So our knees are going to soften. We're going to hinge on over. Yep, and I might need to use my knees a little bit more to get down and pick up where that is, keeping my neutral spine, pushing the floor away, coming back up to standing. Yeah, good job.
Thank you for all that information, Laura. Before we move on, I would love it if you spent a moment talking about diastasis, or the separation of the abdominal muscles. I've had a lot of moms speak to me about this, especially in babies class, and I'd like to know how to best support them.
Yes, great topic of conversation. I feel like this is something that should be talked about more and isn't, and a lot of women don't know about it. So, diastasis recti, or DRA for short, is pretty common in pregnant women. And for most women, it happens to accommodate a growing baby in the later stages of pregnancy, which I am currently in at the moment. So what happens is we have this connective tissue that goes from the sternum down to the pubic bone. It's called the linea alba. And as the baby continues to grow, your abdominals may only take them to a certain point. When the abdominals cannot accommodate the growth anymore, that linea alba starts to stretch. And the two sides of your six-pack muscles or your rectus abdominis, begin to separate as that linea alba stretches. They're not tearing, there's no tearing involved, it's just a stretching of the connective tissue. And if you think about it, it's pretty remarkable that our bodies do that to accommodate for this kind of human we're growing. But the other thing about it is that this stretching of the linea alba and this separation of the two sides of your abdominals can stick around post-pregnancy, which can make it challenging to find stability in the pelvis and in the lower back, and do things such as lap songs, right? In those lap songs, when we have this scenario where we're leaning back, right, that might aggravate what we call that bulge, right, when this is separated and we see that bulge between the abdominal muscles. So that's just something to be aware of. But the great thing is there are things we can do to sort of manage this and help heal it. So what can we do about DRA? How can we manage it? The good news is that for a lot of women, it will go back without much effort, without much work. In other cases, things that you want to be mindful of as you're moving through life, as you're, holding your baby, going to class, doing lap songs. The first one is avoid anything where you notice that bulge that we kind of talked about, right? Where we have this separation and we see that bulge in between. And it could happen anywhere along this midline, right? Most women tend to see it closer to the belly button area, but be mindful of anything that aggravates that, especially leaning back. That's kind of like number one. Anytime I lean back and I'm coming to a seated or a standing position, so be mindful of that. One thing we already talked about, posture. That's going to be a big one, right? We talked about neutral spine already. Am I in exaggerated postures? Can I find that neutral spine? If I can find that alignment with my diaphragm and my pelvic floor lining up, then I've given my abdominal muscles the most stable position that they can sort of turn on and help me in, yeah? Things to avoid. Anything where your belly is facing the floor, right? So if we're exercising any sort of plank position or push-up position, you're going to want to avoid, especially if you feel pulling there. Any sort of crunch or sit-up, we will also want to avoid. It's kind of the same thing there as leaning back. What can you do? The first thing I would recommend is learn some breathing exercises. We talked about breath already today and how our breath connects our pelvic floor and the rest of our abdominal muscles. There are very specific breathing exercises that can help you with this. So go ahead, there's tons of resources online for that. So learn some breathing exercises. If you are not able to do that on your own, find someone who can help you. A trainer, someone who's certified in pre- and postnatal work. And then lastly, if you haven't already and you have diastasis that is pretty, it's affecting your life pretty dramatically, please see a PT, please see a physical therapist. There are PTs that specialize in pelvic health and the diastasis issues. So please seek one out because it can and will get better. I think a lot of times when we're talking about post-natal issues, a lot of things women feel like this is just what happens. This is just what happens after you have a baby, or this is just something I have to deal with now, and that is not the case. There are people who can help you, so seek out that PT.
So, I have some friends here with me today. I have Jenny and Betty. I have Maria and Emiliana and Aurelia. Yeah, we're ready for it. I have Kelly with Elle. So, Jenny, how much does Betty weigh?
Somewhere between 25 and 30 pounds.
Great. How much does Emiliana weigh?
About 36 pounds.
Great.
About 24 pounds.
Just 20. Just 20. So, friends, I'm going to do the song with 12 kilograms plus 26 pounds about what Betty weighs. All right? So, friends, let's all get on our horses. Ready? Trot, oh Joe, you ride that many horse I know. Trot, oh Joe, you're the best horse in the country. Oh, here we go. Whoa, Joe. All right, so that was Trot, oh Joe. Laura, what did you see?
Well, kind of like we talked about earlier, neutral spine is going to be really important here.
So many of us are working with physical injuries, or we have a chronic condition that makes our teaching more difficult. But also, not many people responded to my warm-up question, but the people who did respond said they either only do a vocal warm-up, or they don't do any warm-up at all. And you know, we talk about our primary instrument is our voice and our body, and yet we're not treating our body the same care that we're treating our voice. So Laura is going to take us through a quick little 5-minute physical warm-up that we can do before we teach. Now, I'll say that I'm not a doctor. Laura is a certified trainer, but it's best that you check with your doctor or somebody that you trust to make sure that this type of warm-up is your journey. It's my journey, it's Laura's journey, but just make sure that it's yours before you do it.
All right, so we're going to talk about warming up our bodies. Liz talked a little bit about taking care of our voices as teachers, right? And taking care of our bodies, equally important. So for this warm-up, it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes. I'm going to show you some things that I think are useful. The first thing we're going to do is a breathing exercise. We already talked a little bit earlier about why breath is so important, right? It's a great way to get our core abdominal muscles activated, turned on, doing something. But it is also a great way to take a moment and sort of connect to the moment you're in, the task you're about to do, leave all the other stuff from outside, and just sort of de-stress for a moment so that you can get mindful about what you're about to do. So there's a ton of reasons why I think breathing is great here. So I'm going to have Liz demo I'm going to give you 3 options for breathing. I'm going to have her demo the first 2. First one's called rock breathing. So you'll notice her knees and feet are together, her forearms are down on the floor right in front of her. Her breath is going to be in through the nose, and then out through the mouth, like she's blowing out birthday candles. And the whole time, she's trying to get that upper back expanded, right? It's almost like she's lifting the upper back towards the ceiling and expanding and opening up that back. Yep, her exhales are long and slow. Beautiful. Now, if this position doesn't feel comfortable to you, it may not, right? Anyone who's pregnant, this is not a great exercise for me right now. I don't have the room for it, right? So, all she's going to do is extend the arms. This position is pretty much the same otherwise, knees and feet together, and she's continuing that beautiful breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Yes, thank you so much, Liz. Yeah, so those are 2 options right there. The third one I'm going to show you on my trusty stability ball. You don't need to have a ball to do this. You can be seated on the floor, you can be on a chair, wherever you need to be. But I really do want to connect my feet to the floor. And then I'm going to turn sideways here so you can see me from the side. I want to try to find that neutral spine, right? So I want to make sure that I'm not arching that back too much. And I want to make sure that I'm not also sort of rounding forward. I'm going to sit tall. My ribs are closed. I have a natural curve in my lower back. And from here, I'm going to do the same thing. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. If you want to, you can place a hand on the rib cage and on the belly. You feel that all expand as you inhale. And relax as you exhale. And I would recommend staying there for about 30 seconds, a little bit more, maybe 5 to 10 breaths if you don't want to be looking at a clock and counting seconds. But that's how we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. Great, so we're going to continue our warm-up with something we call an adductor rock back. So I'm going to have Liz come to all fours. She's then going to extend one leg out to the side, directly out to the side. The things that are important here. This foot and her other knee are on the same plane. I'm also trying to get this foot as much fully on the floor as I can, right? Do your best there. Now, I don't know if you can see from your angle, but she's got a beautiful neutral spine, and I'm going to try to have her keep that. All she's going to do here is rock her hips back towards her heel, and then rock her weight back forward into her hands. Liz, do you feel a little bit of a stretch in your inner thighs?
That's where I feel it.
Yes,
Right there,
that's
yeah.
exactly right. So I'll just have you do a couple more on that side, and then we'll switch sides. But yeah, we're looking to get a little stretch in that inner thigh, and also maintain neutral spine while doing it. Try your other side whenever you're ready, Liz. Now, we did a bunch of breathing planted firmly on the floor. Her neck and shoulders are relaxed. Now, without letting her rib cage splay open, she's gonna go ahead and drive the hips towards the ceiling, squeeze the butt, and then come back down and relax. Yeah, on the next one, Liz, can you hold here for a second? She's in a beautiful position, you guys. From her knees all the way down to her shoulders, we've got one nice straight line here, yeah? Keep going, do a few more here. Liz, do you feel your glute muscles engaged?
Yeah.
Yep, that's what we're looking for. Beautiful. Great. From here, and have you rest. We're gonna go into something called a dead bug. So from here, she's gonna reach both hands straight up to the sky, palms facing each other. Yes. And she's gonna bring feet to what we call tabletop. So her shin is parallel to the ceiling here. Now, we're gonna go back to that beautiful breathing we did. In through the nose, out through the mouth, like you're blowing out birthday candles. Beautiful. Now, what is she actively doing here? She is actively pressing her lower back into the floor. If I tried to put my hand underneath her lower back right now, I would not be able to. No light or air could get in there. Good. Rest for a moment, Liz. That was beautiful. I'm going to give you just another option here on the dead bug if that's too much for you. We talked about DRA, we talked about diastasis a little bit, and if you are someone who has this, that version might be a little bit too much for you. So I'm going to show you a slightly different version. In this version, she's going to keep one foot planted on the floor, and as she exhales, she's just going to extend one leg away from her, reaching her heel long. Inhale, bring it back in. And she's going to try the other side. Extend that heel long and bring it back in. Do one more on each side there, Liz. Are you feeling your abdominals, Liz?
Sure.
Yeah, good. And one more. Beautiful, beautiful. Come on up, Liz. I'm going to have you come to all fours. We're going to do something right now called a bear crawl. I'm going to give you the first option, a baby crawl. Obviously, one's a little more intense than the other. This is option A. This is what we call baby crawl. Knees on the floor, neutral spine, and she's moving opposite hand and leg at the same time. Now, to make this a little more challenging, if you're up to the challenge, she's going to go ahead and just tuck the toes, pop the knees a couple inches off the floor, and do the same thing. Neutral spine, opposites moving. Beautiful. Good. And go ahead and rest, Liz. Great. We're going to take it into something called Spider-Man lunge. So again, I'm going to have you start on all fours, Liz. I'm going to have her bring one foot forward and plant it outside of her hand. Now, when she gets to this position, she's really going to do her best to let her hips fall down and forward as she relaxes, yeah? And then, optional, if you'd like, you can do a reach up to the ceiling, take a breath. Yep, and then we'll reach on the other side whenever you're ready. Good. Gorgeous. And then she's just going to push back to all fours and try the other side. The other foot will come forward. Yep, and see how she did a really good job of letting those hips fall down and forward as much as you can, relaxing here. Thinking of relaxing into this position rather than kind of pushing into this position is what we're going for. Just allowing those hips to open up. Beautiful. Good, Liz, and you can push back to all fours and come to standing. And we're just going to finish this warm-up with something called a cross crawl. So in a cross crawl, the bottom half of my body will be marching, right? So my knees are coming up, one at a time. Great. Now, I'm going to connect the upper body. I'm going to reach across my midline to connect. Right now, for me right now, connecting with my hand is probably the best option. You can connect with your forearm or your elbow if you have the mobility to do that. But what I don't want to do is kind of round over or crunch over to make that happen, right? So we're going to march, we're going to get that march going, and then we're just going to connect across the midline. I'm going to do the hand version. Looks like Liz has got the elbow version going. Crossing that midline and breathing. Oh, yeah, breathing, yep. Now, this exercise is great because we can take it nice and slow, or if we want to get that heart rate up a little bit, we can pick up the pace a little bit just to get that heart rate up and that blood flow a little bit. And rest. And that's our warm-up. Good job!
Thank you for joining us today in this exploration. So friends, I really want us to start to think about our own self-care and sustainability. What would it look like for you to take 5 minutes out of your day to do something for yourself? Maybe it's this warm-up, Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's just sitting and reminding yourself to breathe for 5 minutes a day. I ask that we put our own oxygen masks on first. When we are taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of our classes. And if you can create this little ritual of self-care in the good times, it's so much easier to tap into them when things are challenging. Before we leave today, I'd like to offer you a little self-care challenge. I'm curious, what would it look like if you took 5 minutes out of your day for, 2 weeks, and committed to warming up your body? You can use this warm-up I gave you, or any warm-up you want. Will it change your teaching? Will it change your energy level? Will it change what you're modeling for your grown-ups? I don't know, but I'm curious, and I want you to get curious about it too. So, try this warm-up or any warm-up, and report back to me. If you want a little accountability and want to level up this challenge, I'd like to offer you an internet challenge. So post a picture of yourself warming up on the Facebook group or in your Insta stories, which is where you'll find mine, or on Instagram, with the hashtag #HelloWarmUp, and tag me, Liz Asti, in it. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you to Kelly and Elle, and Jenny and Betty, and Maria, Emiliano, and Aurelia, and of course, thank you to Laura. And thanks to my Music Together family.